Hello guys, I welcome you in this wonderful video. Today I'm going to be sharing about breakouts and reversals. If you can see here on my screen, I have two interesting moves. Firstly, I have the downtrend and then I have the uptrend. So we're going to be focusing on how this transition took place and what we usually do as traders, which is something that is very wrong. So without any waste of time, let me just break it down to you. So if you can just zoom for more info, if you can see, we have highs and lows here, and I can just put on my trend lines. Let me start from there. I can just put my trend line all the way there. However, we can see that the market shifted as it was heading down because we now received a new high, which is no longer closer to that trend line. So if you are a trend line trader, you were supposed to draw your new trend line somewhere around there, which connect the two latest highs. So we can see that the trend line shifted, and then we have this important area where the breakout actually took place. And usually when traders see a breakout, that's where they will start to make conclusions that okay, now a reversal is about to occur. And before you can even pay attention to the breakout, I want you to look at these waves on how the market was behaving. So firstly, we have this initial impulsive move, or this previous impulsive move, and then we have the last one which led to the breakout. So you can see the difference between these impulsive moves is that the sellers, they then became a little bit weaker. Before they were a little bit stronger, if you can see here, and even all the way up there. So you can see that they were a little bit stronger before, but then just before the breakout took place, we can see them getting a little bit weaker, meaning they are struggling. So when the breakout appears, what you need to keep in mind as a trader is that a breakout doesn't necessarily mean that okay, the market is now reversing. I've shared in my previous video that a breakout can mean a lot of things. For an example, it can mean that the market is now changing in terms of strength from a stronger downtrend into a less stronger downtrend, meaning into a little bit of a weaker downtrend. Doesn't necessarily mean that the reversal is now about to happen. However, it does portray to you that okay, the side that was initially controlling the price, in this case the sellers, it does mean that the sellers, they are getting weaker, because if the breakout happens, it means that their flow is changing from a stronger flow into a little bit of a weaker flow. For you to then make decisions that indeed a breakout has occurred, you need to make sure that you observe the structures and you see completely the structures that makes up an uptrend. And one thing that I just want to make sure that I emphasize on is that when you are trading a reversal, you need to know that it's a reversal to a trend. And if it's a reversal to a trend, you need to know that the trend is going to last for some time. And if the trend is going to last for some time, there is no need for you to rush and begin to make decisions so quickly, because traders will see this breakout and then they'll pay attention to that high there. For an example, that high there, and maybe extend it. And then when they see the action taking place here, they will begin to treat this minor move as some kind of a retest, and then they will be tempted to somehow maybe execute a buy here when they see a green candle going up, thinking that's a retest. Same thing applies here, same thing applies here, and even here they will be tempted to say okay, it's a retest, let me just execute a trade. No, it shouldn't work like that. For you to say it's a reversal, then I need to buy, you need to make sure that you see the structures of the buyers being displayed completely and without any challenges. For an example, we know that a downtrend, it is made up of lower lows and lower highs, something like that. So if you don't see this in a downtrend, it means that it's not yet a downtrend. Same thing applies with the buyers. If you don't see waves of the buyers being displayed clearly, it necessarily means that it's not yet an uptrend. So I hope it is making sense. So if you make sure that you see the highs becoming higher and the lows becoming higher as well, then you will know that it is now an uptrend. But what this breakout means, it should be some kind of a signal that hey, be ready, something is about to happen, because our sellers here, they are now getting weaker. So if you can see how the move then resumed here, you can see that we had an impulsive move again going down, which then told us that hey, the sellers might be back, but then we received a corrective wave which is a little bit bigger, and then here's the interesting part, an impulsive wave which is not just as the same size like the previous one. You can see the previous one's almost at the same size or a little bit lower, but here we can see that now the impulsive move didn't wasn't able to break below this one, or at least reach the level. It wasn't able, but now we receive a little bit of a high. So we can see that we have a high here, and then we have our next high. However, it is not yet complete because we have this high, but there isn't any high that is showing us to be a little bit higher than this one. So this high, it becomes something like our hindrance, that okay, we cannot yet execute our buy because this high, there isn't any high that broke it, and that breakout took place somewhere around here, where now we received a high that is higher than the previous one. So we can see that now, okay, we had a higher high, if you can see, and that's the place where now it is clearly confirmed that hey, you can begin to do whatever you want as far as the bars are concerned. Because here, for the fact that we received a high here, which is a little bit lower than that one, it meant that the sellers were still present, meaning with the buyers giving us this impulsive wave, which is smaller than the previous one, it means that they were not yet there in terms of their power and confidence. So we don't want to bet on a side that is not yet strong. So after receiving that high, then you can execute your trade wherever you want, somewhere around here or wherever, as the market is moving up. And you need to know, as I said, that if you are trading a trend, there is no need for you to rush. If you try to enter maybe somewhere at the early stages here, you will sometimes fail because it's not yet clear. But if you enter here, at least there is safety because now the strength is clearly displayed, and then you'll be in profit as far as the trend proceeds. So my main point about this video, or what you should take from this video, is that there is no need for you to rush. When you see a breakout doesn't mean that's a reversal. It necessarily means that it's just a change in terms of strength, and a change in terms of strength, we know that it usually leads to a reversal, just as it did here. However, the reversal didn't take place exactly here, but it had to take place somewhere around this area. So I'm just gonna keep it short and leave it here. Thank you guys for watching.